Welcome back to the Sacred Spiral Yoga brief workshops. Today we are going to be looking at the Hasta Padangusthasana cycle. That's basically the leg stretching cycle. Reason I started that with the Sanskrit name is it's quite revealing about what needs to happen in the posture. So just to break that up, the Hasta is your hands, in this case the fingers of the hand, using the fingers. And the Padangushtha is the big toe of the foot, and then posture. So it gives us a rough idea that we need to be engaging the big toe, using our hand, and it's not really possible for the majority of folks to start with that, just straight off with the big toe. A lot of the guys are quite stiff and so on, so that's no problem. We start off in an easy fashion. You can use some kind of a prop like a yoga strap, or in this case I'm just using a scarf that's folded up. That's perfectly fine. You place the scarf on the ball of the foot, so don't worry about the big toe for the moment. And then just getting the legs straight. So a lot of the guys lock the knee cap. So when we lock any joint, we severely restrict the activity, not just the energy flow, but the muscular activity above and below the joint. So in this case, in your leg, if you lock the knee joint, you're going to severely restrict the ability to engage your quadriceps muscles. That is the front thigh muscles. So what do we usually say with these leg stretches? First of all, we need a balance on the inside leg, the outside leg, the front leg, and the back leg. So it just really means as even and maximum engagement of the leg as possible, and as balanced and even as possible. If we can't get the front thigh engaged, we usually say with this that the front thigh is the active component or active part of the leg stretching activity, and the hamstrings and the tendons at the back of the knees, calf maybe a little bit, are basically more passive. So you're stretching at the back and you're engaging strongly with the front. So even if the leg is slightly bent, it's actually healthier than actually locking the joint. At least with the leg slightly bent, you can at least get some engagement with the front thighs. By engagements, I obviously mean strong contraction, contracting up of those muscles. Back stretches. Other important thing with the leg stretching is to try to get the activity right down into the very, very root of the leg. That's basically the head of the femur, where it joins into the hip socket. The femur is the big upper leg bone. And also interesting to note that the hamstring muscles don't stop there. They actually go a little bit round the corner, as it were, up into the lower back around the sacrum and the coccyx right at the bottom of the lower back there. So that's also important to articulate from the head of the femur, from the what we say is what I call the root of the leg, the absolute root. Otherwise, you just get a localized stretch. Often the tendons at the back of the knee are very tight, or the hamstring itself is very tight. And also bear in mind that there's quite a lot of muscles all the way around the circumference of the upper thigh. I think it's about 12 muscles, front, sides, inner and outer, and the back. So basically keeping these workshops non-technical, so I'm not too worried about precise anatomy and precise nomenclature of the muscle groups and so on. I'll just keep it general and layman's terms. When we're using the support on the ball of the foot, it's quite nice to spread the toes and actually look at your foot, and try and keep that balance, that lateral balance across the top of the foot there. And also not to pull too much down towards your face. So the leg stretching action is really actually level with the floor. I'm basically drawing that foot over the top of my head, as it were. So it is down towards the face a little bit, but most of the stretching is actually away or towards over the back of the head. And then of course we need the back thrusting action from the knee. So use, in fact, the whole leg actually, from the support down through the outside of the calf, through the thigh, and down to the root of the leg. So we also say try to take the kind of like the head of the femur area, that root of the leg, down towards the floor. Don't lift up there. Back thrust strongly, and that's actually the secret of giving you a deep leg stretching action. Okay, I think that's more or less about it. We need to obviously change sides regularly and build the practice up slowly over time. These leg stretching actions in the center, you can see I'm been demonstrating to the sides as well. So that's two directions. The one is across the body, and it's very important to keep the sole of the foot open when you move across the body. And obviously outward rotation out to the sides. Again, just working as much into the root of the leg as possible. And when you're taking the leg to the side, you can counterbalance very strongly with the opposite side of the body. That is the opposite leg, the other straight leg. That leg is very active, engaged. And that side of the chest and the shoulder and everything is also counterbalancing the leg that you're working with. Another little issue that sometimes crops up with early on students, they use the prop too much to come up, and just generally too much. So try to use more of your leg activity, especially when you're coming up out of the posture. And when you're doing the posture, the prop is there just to help us a little bit, but what is actually going to give us the deep stretching is active engagement. So just keep the prop for if you absolutely really can't do without a prop and you can't reach your foot at all. And of course there are other postures where we stretch the legs out as well. Lastly, most importantly, probably use the breath. So goes throughout the practice. We need to engage that slow, sort of gentle, slow exhalation to do your stretching. Almost pausing a moment on the inhalation, or just gathering your energy. There's that little flux and ebb and flow of the breath and the engagement of our attention. Keeping your attention deeply focused into what you're doing. Try not to wander with your attention. Concentrate. And also when we stretch, you don't just stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. It's important to put a load on the muscles groups and then wait a little while, short while. And you'll actually feel that with the breath as well, and doing that gentle stretching, waiting a bit, the muscle basically gains a new what they call a resting length, and then you can go further. So it's not a static hold. There's a flux and a flow, but just that deep stretching, you need to wait a little bit. Don't just stretch and stretch and pull and pull and pull. That's basically how we injure ourselves and hurt your body, pull muscles, tear the muscles, and so on. So I hope you enjoyed that little leg stretching cycle. Very, very important for many of the other postures. Please like and subscribe our channel. You can pick up the short video classes in our channel on a separate playlist marked video classes, and this workshop series is basically breaking up the postures into short one pose or just a few related postures into short workshops. See you again next time, and blessings to everybody.